Hi there, Russell Stratton, Leadership Champion at Blue Gem Learning. I work with organisations just like yours to transform average bosses into exceptional leaders. And that helps drive performance for both the individuals in your organisation and also the teams working with you. So the other day I was running one of my regular courses, Coaching on the Front Line, with a group of mid-level managers in an organisation. And one of the questions that came up first of all was, well, why should we take a coach approach? Isn't it just easier to tell people what to do? So to sort of illustrate why we perhaps want a coach approach, I told them a little bit of a story. And I referred back to Ken Blanchard and his work on the 1 Minute Manager series, which you may be familiar with. And one of the things they talk about there is the idea of manager as hero. There's a problem sometimes that we have, particularly when we're new into a managerial role or new to that particular post, that we feel that we have to be the person that solves all the problems. We have to some way, pull open our shirt and there's the Superman symbol in front that sort of shows that we can solve anything. And the danger with us taking this approach is illustrated by Ken in one of his books. And this was the idea, is imagine that you're sitting there with your team of people, and let's say you have 10 employees. And the first one comes into your desk and says, boss, I've got a problem with X. And as hero, you say, don't worry, leave it with me. Now imagine that instead of a problem, that person had a monkey sitting on their shoulder. And when they said, I've got a problem, and you said, leave it with me, they actually left you their monkey off of their back and now onto yours. So in listening to this, you might say, well, that's no problem, Russ. I can deal with problems. That's what I'm here to do. But then perhaps your second employee comes in and says, boss, I've got a problem. Okay, so remember, this is like a monkey sitting on their back. And you say, yeah, give it to me. And as a result, they hand it over to you. Now what? You've got two monkeys sitting there. Then the third person, then the fourth person, then the fifth person. And by the end of the day, you've had 5 or 6 of your employees come to you with issues that they've got with their work that they've given to you. And being the hero, you've said, leave it with me. Well, if we continue with Ken Blanchard's monkey analogy, instead of 1 monkey in your office, you've now got 6. And what do we know that monkeys do? Well, they eat lots of nuts and they throw poop. So, it's a complete gong show. Wouldn't it be better if you learnt the skills and techniques that you could be able to coach your people to solve problems for themselves? Not only does that release your time to be focused on some of the key strategic areas you might be working on, but it also helps them be able to solve problems for themselves, not just the first time, but the second, the third, and the fourth time it happens. A much better development for them and a much better use of your time. So my group listened and they sort of said, okay, I can see your point, Russ, that sounds good, but what if I don't know more about the job than the people that I'm trying to coach? Surely I have to be better than them to be able to coach them. So with this, I gave them my second story. And this was based on an interview given by Arrigo Sacchi, former coach with Milan and the Italian national soccer team. And he was asked at an interview some years ago, how can you coach elite level players when you yourself have never played soccer above a 4th tier? And his answer to this I thought was quite profound. He said, to be a jockey, you don't need to have been a horse first. The group laughed. And I said, but this is the same thing as you're thinking about as a manager in your organisation. To coach an employee to be even better at their job, you don't have to be better than them at that piece of work. You just need to know enough about the work so that you can ask the right questions that are going to help them develop those critical thinking skills so they can problem solve for themselves. So next time if you're thinking about what do I do if I have a member of staff come in and say, hey boss, I've got a problem, have a pause. Should I try to coach them through, or am I going to take it upon myself to be the hero and solve the hour? Anyway, I'm Russell Stratton, Blue Gem Learning. If you're interested in what I've been talking about and would like to talk more about some of the learning solutions I offer, then please check out my website at bluegemlearning.com.